Well, howdy there, Internet people. It's Bo again. So, today we are going to talk about representative democracy and the machinery for change and toolboxes. If you don't know, over on the other channel, I interviewed someone named Mariah. I'll have the link to it down below. And that interview prompted a question. I noticed something strange months ago and saw it again in your interview with the county commissioner rapper. I'm sorry, I forgot her name. She's great. I loved everything she said. She has a lot of great ideas for how the country should be. You too. Why are people like you who want a radically different world supporting U.S. democracy? She said she couldn't let it die. That's why she said she ran for office, was that she couldn't let democracy die. But to get the country she wants, it'll have to, won't it? I've noticed other YouTubers and podcasters who promote big changes do the same thing. And I've asked them, but the way I ask makes them think I'm calling them a sellout, when I'm really just curious about how they can want a different world and promote the current one at the same time. I have a list of other people who have done it. And there is an attached list of other people. If you are somebody who wants a radically different world, you want a different society, you want that egalitarian society where everybody's going to get a fair shake and all of that stuff, right? You want society, government, for lack of a better word, to be at the service of the people. Government should serve the people, not the other way around. Society should serve the people, right? For that to be the case, that society or government, it has to be incredibly flexible. It has to be very adaptable because there's a lot of people and people have different needs. So it has to be able to solve a lot of problems. And it has to be adaptable. It's not the strongest that survives. It's the most adaptable to change, right? Now, recently, I told that story about working on cars, and we're going to do a little flashback to that story. If you missed it, there are three people in the story: Jason, myself, and Steve. Jason, super mechanic, right? Knows everything there is to know about cars. Me, I can kind of fix stuff. Steve knows nothing, right? As you might imagine, we have very different toolboxes. Steve has one of those from Walmart that has like a hammer, two screws, a level, and then a little socket set in it. Okay, I have a mechanic's tool chest. If you know about it, it's like 200 pieces. So it's big, but it's not giant. It can solve a lot of problems, but every once in a while I have to go to the store and get, a certain adapter or socket or something. Right? Jason, he has two of those big chests on wheels, and they're both full. His tool chest, that's that ideal government, that ideal society, that flexible one, that adaptable one. He can work on anything. He can use those tools to fix a Camry, a Big Rig, or an Abrams. Can solve a lot of problems, and it can be at the service of whoever comes by, be at the service of the people. My toolbox, that's representative democracy. It has a lot of abilities, but there are some things it just can't do. It's flexible, and it can be added to, right? So, good, but not great. And then you have Steve's, which really can't do much except for require other people to do the work and take from the people around him because he needs other things. That's the government that is being offered by the far right. Rather than society being at the service of the people. Rather than government being at the service of the people are at the service of the government. That's the difference. Now, the far right is trying to take away the toolbox we have, mine, and replace it with that one. The problem is, if that occurs, we have to rebuild the toolbox we have before we can ever start working on Jason's, before we can ever start building that more adaptable society. The U.S. government has a lot of problems. Our form of government has a lot of problems. The Constitution today is flawed. I know, that's a wild statement to hear in the United States. It is flawed today. It was a lot more flawed when it was ratified, right? The toolbox we have has the tools for change. It has the machinery for change. It takes way too long, in my opinion. It allows for way too much injustice. It isn't perfect, but the tools are there, and we can use them. Eventually, we could build that better society. So, taking that away, losing that ability, losing those tools, that puts a lot of people who want a much better society on the defensive. It makes them, at the bare minimum, there are people who are laying down cover fire for a representative democracy. You know, it's not ideal, but you're not taking it because we need this. It's a tool. It's not the end. That's the starting place, you know. And as far as the people who didn't like your question, I know some of the people on your list, yeah. Some of them probably legitimately got their feelings hurt because they are true believers, and it probably bothers them on some level to have to defend a system of government that they do want to replace. They want to replace it with something better, something more adaptable. And then some of them probably just don't want that image because they built their channel around the idea that they're in constant opposition to the United States and its system of government. So for them, it's more about image than actually being upset about it. The thing is, all the names I know on here, yeah, you're right. Even those that wouldn't want it publicly known that they have all in some way laid down cover fire to help maintain the current system as they push for something better. And I think if you want to know the situation American democracy is in, how perilous the situation is in, understand there are people who are subtly trying to help that would never want it known. But they feel that they have to because it's at that much of a risk. And everybody had their own moment, I'm sure, when they realized, oh no, we're in real trouble. For me, I can tell you around the time those toddlers got hit with tear gas down on the border, and there wasn't really a huge outcry, not one that matched what I think should have happened, that was the moment for me when I realized it was way further than I thought. For some, there were probably points along the way. I'm sure some people came to the realization before me, and I'm sure that some people didn't realize it until the 6th. But with Biden not winning in that landslide, with Trumpism not being rejected en masse, there's still that risk. So you have a lot of people who want a far more progressive society and system of government and just world in general, who at the moment are reinforcing those, trying to hold the line. I don't know that it's strange. It's probably happened a lot throughout history. It's that old idea that politics makes strange bedfellows. Anyway, It's just a thought. Y'all have a good day.